Alright gang, welcome back to our one-tile challenge, the competitive one-tile challenge, I should correct myself, with my friends Rusty Money Gaming and Crustu. It is now September. I've purchased some things, a lot of things as a matter of fact. If you look in the top right-hand corner, we have $36,000 left in our name, which is a lot less than what we left off in the last episode. And I'll talk you through everything that I've purchased here as we move along. First things first, I got a water bowser, or water tank here, as you can see. So clearly I put down some kind of a greenhouse, and that I did do, and we were going to talk about that here in just a second. Rusty did try to help me out here and put a bit of an entryway in here. There evidently on this map is a point, which is this right here, and I guess a little bit of this dirt here as well, where it will not allow myself or him to paint over that. So I'm going to be kind of stuck with a piece of grass in the middle there, but that's alright. We'll just kind of imagine it's a bit of a runoff little creek or something we're going across, something like that. Now, another thing you might notice, as a matter of fact you will notice, we did put down a house. Now, this house is just a small little tiny house. It's more like a shed type of house. I don't really think I need anything else besides that. We're going to be working every single day. We really don't need much, so we're going to be working kind of from start to the end of the night, if you will. So I don't really think I need much more than that. And over here, you'll see some of the other things we added. So we added quite a large greenhouse here, plus a water tank. And as you can see in the distance, I'm sure, Rusty also put down that same water tank. So we're going to be rocking this water tank to help us get some water in our brand new greenhouse. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what kind of greenhouse did you get? Well, it's a melon greenhouse is technically what it's called, and we're going to be doing pumpkins out of it, though. I know that's a little interesting that it's called a melon greenhouse and it has pumpkins, but I think they're from the same kind of grouping, if you will. But we can do melons, pumpkins, and watermelon. We're going to do pumpkins. So that's going to be a huge help for us. And I mean, Rusty over there has some pumpkins as well, much smaller one, but he does have pumpkins running as well. So this is going to help us out tremendously, though, with our money and being able to kind of move forward here. Now, the nice thing about where I put this water tank is, at least for this greenhouse, we can just sit here and fill it up and unload it directly without actually really having to drive it anywhere, right? So it's quick, convenient, easy, which is super nice for us. Now, a couple other things that I purchased. Well, there's only one other thing I purchased, as a matter of fact, but one other thing I did purchase was a plow. I talked about in the last episode that we're going to start plowing up and making some fields from the grass we mowed in the last episode, and that is our goal. I think I was a little incorrect with my statement about our silage silo, if you will. It is not as fast as I thought. I thought it was much faster than it was, but it is still actually chewing through grass. It only got through half of the amount of grass that we had from the last episode. Now, granted, we did work pretty late in the last episode, so maybe, on a normal day, maybe it'll be a little bit better, but overall, it didn't really make that much silage, right? It only made 49,000 liters of silage. Now, we are going to sell that today, regardless of what the price is. We just need to get some more money back into the account here. And, we're on hard difficulty, right? So we're not going to make a ton of money off of this, if I'm honest with you. But we will see. We will see, nonetheless, what it ends up being and what kind of money we end up getting out of that amount that we mowed. So we have a better idea of how much money we're going to make today and moving forward every 50,000 liters or so of silage. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Now, we all kind of agreed upon allowing auto-load trailers for bales, and so that's going to be something that we're going to be adding to the mix here at some point, I'm sure. So if I want to do any bales of any sort, I can do that. Right now, obviously, I'm not doing bales. I'm doing, the forage wagon, loading wagon approach. But if we want to go that path, we have that option now, I guess is how I should put it. Eggs have started to be produced, which is great. We'll look at that here in a little bit as well. For now, we're going to head up to the shop because I've also purchased a plow, as I mentioned. So we're going to pick that up and bring it back here and kind of get started on trying to sort out where at least our initial field is going to be. Now, what I tried to do with that water tank, and you'll see similar here with the plow, was try to keep it somewhat to the color of our tractor. Trying to keep that unified a bit. I really like the colors here, so I'm trying to do that. Now, the problem is these are like a custom color for this Mercedes-Benz, so I don't actually have the exact color that it is, but I've done the best I could to attempt to, get it to be a similar color, I guess is how I should put it. We can't do it with everything. Obviously, that forage wagon doesn't allow you to change the colors, but anything that does allow it, I'm going to attempt to do. Now you can see it's pretty close. I mean, it's almost identical, so it's the best I could do. Looks like somebody's going to be planting some trees. Ah, okay, so Crustu is going to be doing some tree work. Interesting. Okay. Little sneak there for me to see what he was doing. He probably thought nobody would go into the shop for a little bit, and here I am at the shop. Everyone seemed to really enjoy the first episode. It's going to be a blast, man. It really is. So just to kind of give you a ballpark idea of what we're dealing with here. So if we go into finances, last month we had to pay $1,666 on the loan. It's not a huge impact, but eventually it could be a huge impact, right? That's a lot of money every month to be throwing away if you're not making anything. So we really need to utilize that silage to our advantage as much as possible here. So we're going to bring this up here. Now, we're not going to start plowing just yet. What we're going to do next, or first, I guess I should say, is we're going to take a look at the silage. I don't know if I should be go to the shop with our trailer and convert it back to an actual, grain type of trailer so we can put the silage in there, or if I should just use our loading wagon. I don't know which one has a higher capacity. It doesn't really tell me on there, does it? 18.7. Let me see if I can go into the shop here and figure this out. 18.7. Yeah, so we actually are going to get more out of the loading wagon, or we can fit more in the loading wagon versus utilizing that trailer. So we're going to do the loading wagon, and I don't know exactly where to sell the silage. Now, somebody told me that it's up in a corner somewhere. Like I said, I really haven't spent a ton of time on this map. We just kind of picked this map because it is a similar type of map to a Farmlands and a perfect type of map for especially a multiplayer, competitive series like this is. So, let's see. If we're going to sell silage, where are we going to go? And this is going to be another one of those times where I'm going to say, I wish us console players had the ability to favorite things. So at the very, very top, it just seems like such a simple thing to do, but yeah, whatever reason, we still have to scroll for hours and hours and hours. Actually, it looks like it's the best time to sell it right now, so that's not bad. All right, so 179 at the bale export. That is a really good deal. That is way higher than what we're supposed to. Where is that at? It is way up in the corner. That's what somebody said. Somebody said it was way up in the corner, and it is. All right, so I'm going to jump to it really quick. I just want to take a peek. So it's basically the train is what it is. Okay, all right, so it's the train. All right, well, this is going to be a long trip to get all the way up there, but let's at least make the drive. I guess I'm going to drive across the guys' fields here. Hopefully they don't yell at me too much, but I'm going to take a drive. Looks like Rusty is already drilling the field. He's probably wondering what the heck I'm doing. And we're going to drive right across Crustu's too. We're just going to cause some mayhem here for a minute. In the last episode, if you didn't watch either of theirs, there was a little bit of some treachery is not the word I was looking for. Some sabotaging, where Crustu was running into Rusty on purpose at the shop to slow him down. It was pretty funny. So we're just going to cause a little bit of mayhem ourselves here. It looks like I don't even know if Crustu's here or not. He might not even be up in this area. He might be at the shop. I don't know. But we're going to drive across it anyway. Perhaps I should drive across his crop field. That would be pretty funny. Let's do it. I should outline a big Z in it. That'd be pretty funny. Maybe I'll do it later. Oh, this is fun. Anyway, hopefully I can get across up here. I didn't even look. It does look like there's a bit of a bridge up here between 24 and 18. Good thing there is, because I was a little concerned. So, this is a far, far, far trip to go and sell this. So this is going to take a while, unfortunately. This might be something where we might want to consider just putting it onto an auto sell format. We didn't really talk about that. I guess I should talk with the guys about that if we're going to allow... Because really, I want all of us to agree on something, right? If we're going to do something, I want us all to agree about it. So I probably need to ask them if we're on board or even willing to consider any kind of an automatic sell direct from a production or whatever it may be. Because if that's the case, and it's going to take us, drive it up here every single time. Not that I don't don't want to do it. It's just, it's a lot of time, right? We only have an hour every episode, right? So it's a long trip for me to travel all the way up here. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to see, but we're gonna make the drive anyway for this first time at least, and maybe we'll make a decision from that point forward. So I hope you're all doing well. Looks like Krusty is back at his farm now, so I wonder if he saw what I did or not. Maybe I'll do some donuts in it on the way back. So $18,700. We're not going to make a lot of money, gang. We're really not. $18,700. 18,700 liters. We're not going to make a lot of money here, gang. Alright, so, I think it's just here. I hope it's here. Uh-oh. I better turn these on. If this doesn't let me sell it here, then we're in trouble. I mean, maybe it goes in here, maybe? Maybe it goes into the outro. It would make more sense probably here, but... This is not good. I mean, this is probably grain more than likely, right? That's what you would think. This would be a grain type of situation. So I wonder if maybe I need to back it up actually onto the train. That's clearly pallets. It has to be here. It has to be, right? It has to be. I mean, that's where the actual trigger point is specifically. Okay, yeah, so I just have to back it up into it. Okay. Alright, well, we're making money, so let's see what we make here. It's not terrible. It's going to be about $3,000-ish. $3,350. It's not terrible, but I don't really want to drive this far for $3,350 every time. And sometimes even less than that, right? I'm going to have to talk to the guys about that. I guess the nice thing about it is we know for a fact, at least right now, is if we sell one load every episode, we're going to be able to, offset the loan, interest, right? Because that's more than the loan interest is. So I guess that's the bonus or the plus, but we're not really going to make it too far if we're not able to make more than that. So really I was hoping to be able to sell that silage. All of the silage, for that matter. I don't see a reason why they would say no to put it on auto selling. I mean, personally, I would prefer to drive it up here, I think, myself. But again, like I mentioned, it's not really, I don't think, from a time standpoint, when we only give ourselves an hour plus 30 minutes of, extra bonus stuff at the end to, tie up loose ends and do some minor stuff that you may not want to show on camera. I don't think I'm really, giving myself the, the leg up that I need to try to help win this series, right? So maybe what I need to do then, and if we go a different route, maybe what I need to do is consider putting down my own sell point. That we can do. So maybe that's the way I go. I'll have to look at it. I don't know what sell points are there. Probably just the base vanilla games and maybe a one or two extras, but not many. I would think not many. Well, it looks like Krusty is there. I'm going to do some donuts and see if he sees me do it or not. It's good fun. He saw me. See, that's kind of stuff we're talking about. Like, that's just, you know, harmless fun, right? That's nothing major. We're not really sabotaging anybody, but it's some fun, right? We're having a little fun with it. That's good. I should do it to Rusty, too, just so he doesn't feel left out. See there? Yeah, he's there. We'll do it to Rusty too. Why not? He's running around. It'll be funny if he's running around looking at stuff and I'm just gonna drive right across his yard. I still don't think he's noticed that I'm here. I think he must be talking. He must be doing something to talking. Well, he bought some sheep. He has no idea what I was doing. He still has no idea. He's in the menu, has no clue. Alright, that's enough messing around. Let's get back to work. We gotta get to work here. That was still fun. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go and sell another load, at least not right now. If I do it, I might do some more off camera potentially. I just don't think it's really necessarily worth our time for how far I have to drive, right? So I'll maybe look into a sell point here in a little bit. But let's start with planning out our first field. Now, as far as where I want to put it, I'm thinking over this way. I think if I extend the yard, at least initially right now, it might change as we move along. But I think if I extend the yard, I'm going to probably extend it going this way, I think. And then leave all the fields going this way, if you will. So I don't know if I want to do the whole entire size of what we mowed. Perhaps I do. He still doesn't know that I did. So I think I'm going to start here. I'm going to kind of run up to here. I think I'll go probably to this tree, I think. And then I'm going to cut over. And I think maybe if we just keep it to the size of basically what our yard is, right? So we go down to here to this big tree and cut across and come back here. I think that might be, you know, a pretty large field to start with, honestly. Hopefully this is going to work. I mean, this tractor technically doesn't have enough power to do this. But I think it'll be okay. In the past, you know, this even though this plow says you need a certain amount of horsepower, it still works. Might just be a little slower than we want it to be. Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit too slow. We might want to go modify this to a lower capacity until we get another larger tractor with more horsepower, if you will. Yeah, how's everyone, man? I hope you're all doing well, man. Things are good. Slowly but surely you're getting better. This is going to be good, man. This is going to be good. Now, what are we going to put in here? Well, we kind of looked in the last episode. We've got a couple options. I think I'm going to put canola in first, I think. I think it makes the most sense because we can turn that into canola oil in the long run. So I think we'll do canola first, and then kind of make our decision, I guess, from there. This is pretty slow. I'm not sure this is going to work for us here, gang. I don't think I can really do 2 mile per hour. It's going to take the whole episode for me to do 2 mile per hour. All right, so we're gonna make a executive call here, executive decision. I'm gonna head to the shop and get the smaller one. This is 9, so I paid a little bit of extra to have the wider plow width here. I'm gonna go down to the one below that, 6 meter I think is what it is versus the 9. So it'll take us a little bit longer in regard to, you know, the width, but it should hopefully go faster than 2 mile per hour. 2 mile per hour would just take us way too long to do that. All right, we've got the modified plow here to a smaller amount, so this should hopefully do better. I might want to put a weight on this too. That might be part of the problem, is the weight. We are going faster. It's not much faster, but we are going faster here, so... There we go, 6 miles per hour. That's much faster. So this will do the trick. Now, what I'm probably going to be doing here, gang, I talked about it, I think, in the first episode. I'm going to talk about it again here, though. We'll more than likely put some tracks in around some of these fields. We're going to want to have easier access to get to these, right? I don't want to have to drive all the way around the outskirts of my land just to get to these fields, right? And maybe eventually, once we get, you know, a little bit larger, and what I mean by a little bit larger is once we get some bigger equipment, some bigger... you know, a more powerful tractor, etc. We might make a, you know, a shift at that point to, you know, make some of these fields a little bit larger in themselves, right? Combine them a little bit. But early on stages, we really don't need massive fields. I don't think that's going to really help us out any. It probably will hinder us more, especially when it gets to a point where we have lots of things to do, right? And there's going to be a time period where we're going to have lots to do, right? So... Alright, a little bit further, we are going 2 miles per hour again, so I don't know. Perhaps I'm just incorrect. Perhaps I should have left it at 9 meters. I don't know. Either way, I guess I can go back and modify it again if I want to go back to 9 meters. Because it's not going to cost me anything besides driving up to the shop to do it. Yeah, it might just be the gear shifting. I might have not needed to go all the way to the shop to change that, but it's too late now, right? Too late now. If we change it again, we'll change it for the next episode. I think that's going to be pretty close, so we're going to leave it there. And we'll come back across, and then we've got our first field kind of outlined, and then it's just a matter of us getting it, the rest of it all plowed up. Perfect. All right, let's get to work. Let's get the rest of this done. And then after that point, we're going to buy a drill. And we're going to get this field all drilled up with some canola as well. Now, we're going to need to put some lime down, too. So I'm going to have to buy some kind of a spreader as well. I'm not sure what spreader we're going to utilize yet, but we'll look into that, too. All right, we're back at the shop here. Let's find us a drill here that we can utilize. Also, the used market, nothing changed. It's mostly due to the fact that, you know, we were doing the episode in a later time period. for the first one, and it hasn't really been 24 hours yet, if that makes sense. So still some of that stuff's out there, but hopefully between now and the next episode, it'll give us some new stuff out there in the used market potentially for us to look into. Okay, I don't know where I'm going. I'm going way too far here. Let's get back up here to the drills, or the seeders, excuse me, as they're rightfully called here. I think I'm going to go with the John Deere here. Go with the wider width, because why not? I don't really need the side attachers right now, in my opinion. I am going to go with the Michelins, though. You all know that I do enjoy the Michelins. Yeah, I'm actually okay with that. I think that it kind of, even though it's not actual John Deere green, it kind of works, right? Let me just see what it looks like the other way around here. You know what? I even like that better. Yeah, I like that better. Let's go with that. All right, so now we need some seeds. So we're going to buy this one because technically you get 50 more seeds out of it, right? Just a slight amount more for whatever reason. So we're going to go with that one. It's the exact same price. And then we want fertilizer as well. All right, so let's hook into the drill here and we'll get all of this loaded up. Puts us down below $30,000. It's not really a happy place to be, if I'm honest with you. I don't like having that little of money, given the complexities of this series. But it is what it is. Alright, so we've got a couple things here at the shop that we need to get back to the farm there. So we're going to need to bring the trailer down here soon as well and get the forklift over there and get those loaded up, because we're taking up a whole lot of space right now. Still enough room to spawn stuff, but I don't want to be that guy that just leaves stuff at the shop the entire time and pesters everyone else because there's no room to buy stuff, right? So oh, what was Rusty doing there? Is he just driving around? It might have just been driving around. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't seen what I've done yet. Who knows? Alright, we want to put canola in, so let's get the canola on. This is a large field, man. It really is. I think it's bigger than the rest of the guys' fields so far. Well, maybe not Crustu's. Crustu did one like the entire length of his land. But it's going to be close, right? It'll be close nonetheless. We need to get another shed of some sort, though. We really need to kind of focus and work on doing that, I think. Main reason why I'm saying we need to do that is because we've got a lot of pieces of equipment now that are just kind of sitting out in the weather elements. Not that it really makes a big difference in this game, but we don't necessarily want to have them, you know, in that situation, right? We're going to turn the lines on for this one. I'm just going to do more traditional up and downs here. I'm not even going to worry about headland passes here. It does seem like the tractor is still struggling, even with this drill, which is a little interesting. I mean, it's not the best tractor to start with. We wanted to, well, I say we. It was mostly my idea to utilize this as the starting tractor. I wanted to make it difficult. I've said that a number of times. I always want to try to keep this challenge and this series difficult, because it is such an interesting series and such an interesting challenge that a lot of people are interested in. I don't want it to be too easy, right? And I mentioned this in the most recent, well, I guess it wasn't the most recent, a couple episodes back at least. I mentioned this on the Vintage Survival series, you know, that my goal was to, I don't want this to be too easy, right? And so when we first initially had thought about doing this series, I was going to give the guys significantly less money than we actually ended up starting with. As I mentioned before, we started with just over $200,000. It was near, it makes no difference, $208,000. which is more than we started with in the original one-tile challenge, right? I was going to give them a little bit more, but it wasn't going to be that much more. But they kind of swayed me. They all wanted to have a little bit more to start with, so they swayed me a bit. And clearly, as you can see, I think starting with less than what we ended up starting with would have been even worse for us. We would have been even more of a struggle. And, you know, the fact that this is only a once-a-week type of series, right? I do think it makes a little bit more sense to start with a little bit more money. So that's the reason why they swayed me to starting with $208,000. Not that there's anything wrong with starting that, but my initial thought was to start with, like 130, 140, maybe $150,000. Which, again, was still more than when we started with the original one-tile challenge, right? So, but it's all working out, though. It's all working out. As you can see, we really don't have any money left at all right now. Now, when we sell that silage, we absolutely will, but nonetheless, we don't have a ton of money right now. Now, really, probably should have put lime down first before I did this, but, it is what it is. So, speaking of that, we need to look and see what we're going to do for the lime here. This is probably the answer, but it's obviously we don't have really enough money to buy that even right now. So, what I'm more than likely going to do here, gang, is we're going to finish the drilling here. Then we're going to look and see if we can find a sell point. And if we can't find a sell point, that makes sense. We're going to put that sell point down, and then we'll sell the silage that way. If we can't find a sell point, then it might just be a situation where, unfortunately, this field is not going to really probably be able to get the lime down. We could do it, I guess is how I should put it. We can do it, but it would leave us with very little, if any, money at all. Now, having said that, we've got all that silage, right? So we sell that silage, and we're going to be okay. But it does make me a little nervous that would be the situation, because, we're going to have to buy fertilizer for the second applications, etc. Now, granted, the first time we drill this, we should not need to do a second application of fertilizer. It should already have, now we are we do have, we're not doing precision farming. I'm sorry. I think I said in the last episode that we were doing precision farming. We're not doing precision farming. I'm sorry. We are not. I forgot. They said they didn't want to do precision farming. I completely forgot about that. I'm sorry. That is my fault. But yeah, we're not going to need a second application of fertilizer. You can see it right there. Let me turn the rolling off. You can see it right there. We are putting down that second application with the drilling right now because the grass was below it, right? So keep forgetting we're not doing precision farming. So if I did say that in the first one, I apologize. I did not mean to say that. I don't remember if I did, but I feel like I did. Anyway. I guess we can look right now while we're drilling. I should wait till I turn around again. We're getting too close to the end here. Once I turn around and I get it set again, we'll go in there and look at the sell points quickly. Kind of keep an eye on, the drill itself, but we'll look at the sell points and see what the price of those are first and foremost. That's the most important thing. If they're super expensive, it's not going to work. And that'll make our decision for what we're going to do, I guess, as far as the silage goes. Alright, so selling points, what do we got? Okay, there is a sell point. We've got the small farmer's kiosk, which I don't know if that can sell silage or not. I'm going to zoom out here for a minute while we let that go so I can make sure I pay attention and keep an eye on the auto. Watermelons can be sold here. That's a good thing. Pumpkins can be. I haven't seen silage yet, though. I don't see silage, gang. That's unfortunate. Maybe that small farmer's kiosk will do the trick. I don't know. Let's get turned back around here. We'll go back into there and see. But if none of that works, then we're gonna have to think of something else here. We're gonna figure something else out. Come on, be silage in the small farm. I don't think there will be, but come on. It's a little bit more expensive than the other one, but I'm willing to, you know, accept $12,000 if we can get a sell point. It's not looking good. Not looking good. It's a no, gang. It's a no. There is no silage sell point there. All right, well, okay, that is not what I was hoping to see. You know, but we'll figure something out. It might just be the fact that we might have to get a bigger trailer so we don't have to make as many trips, right? Maybe we have to consider eventually down the line, you know, getting a semi or something that is significantly faster, right? I mean, I'm sure we will consider doing a semi down the line, but yeah. It's not exactly what I was hoping to see. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? That's not good. I guess what I can do, because we only looked at the one that was, you know, worth a ton of money, right? I guess what we can do next is look and see if there's anything sell point wise that's closer. I mean, I don't think there will be, but we can look. Buying station cheap. See, that's not going to work. There is closer ones, for sure. Farmer's Market, which is... Okay, back at the shop. That's much closer. 117. It's significantly less money, though. You know, $50 per 1,000 liters. That's a lot of money to kind of give away, right? Oops, sorry, getting hit the microphone. That is a lot of money to give away. I don't know, gang. I don't know what to do. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I might end up just going ahead and I'm going to head down here really quick and touch up. There's a little spot I missed. I might go ahead and just buy the lime and fertilizer spreader. And go ahead and put the lime down. I might. Ooh, we did a spin there. Yeah, I might go ahead and do it because we're gonna need something anyway. And I guess the other option I could get is the small one, but the small one, man, that just doesn't almost seem like it's worth our time, if that makes any sense. Ooh, we got some new stuff in the used market, gang. There's a tree planter for 25,000. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, we could follow suit with that. And there's a... Ooh, look at that, too. Perhaps Krusty or somebody sold that stuff. Because I'm pretty sure he had these two things. And I know he had this. That is his. That is his. I don't know about the tree planter or not, but that is definitely his windrower that he just got rid of. Look at that. We're learning stuff without actually really meaning to learn stuff about what's going on here, huh? Interesting. Okay. Can this fit in here? You know, I didn't even look. It's gonna be a little close. Because I got the whiter one, right? If I would have got the smaller one, maybe? That is not fitting. Nope, that is not going to fit. Well, basically, we've got a barn here that we cannot even actually utilize. So that's going well. Things are going well. Things are going really well. We are not utilizing our barn to its fullest potential. That's how I should put it, I guess. Alright, so we'll leave that there for the time being. Okay, so, I don't know. What do we do here? Do we do that? I mean, I guess we have to. It's this one, which can't do lime, or this one. Actually, this one can't do lime either, can it? Yeah, so it's this one. This is our option. This is our choice. I don't care about I don't really care about any of this stuff. I don't want to spend any money on that. I am, however, going to try to make it match a bit of our color scheme here, if you will. Let's go with that for the color cover. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I kind of like that. I kind of like that setup. It's like an army kind of color, or like a, you know, armed forces color, really. But I like it. I like it. All right, let's go with it. So that's $19,750 with $1,000 options, which were what? Oh, the rim color. Okay, so I don't really want to pay money for a rim color. So I tell you what. We're going to make this gray black color here. Doesn't cost us anything, and it still kind of matches a bit. So we're going to go with that. Everything else doesn't cost us money. That way we're only spending an extra $500 for the wheel setup for the Michelins, and I like my wide tires, so I'm fine with spending the extra $500 for that. I know that doesn't seem logical in a competitive challenge series, but that's how it is. It's the truth. Man, we are pushing the limits here. We are pushing the limits. I'll buy 2 of them. I'm not sure if we're going to need more than that or not. I hope we don't. But I'm going to buy 2 of them nonetheless. Alright, we're at the shop here. Let's load this up. Then we got to get over here and get the rest of this stuff out of the way. Man, I'm telling you, we're just taking up too much space here. I don't want to be that guy. I said that already, but it's the truth. I don't want to be that guy that just leaves everything at the shop. Well, hopefully this is enough. I'm a little concerned it might not be enough. But I guess if it isn't, we're going to bring the trailer down here anyway to pick up all this stuff, right? So we can go ahead and pick up the more lime at that point, I suppose, right? I posted the question about auto-selling, you know, for whether it's from, you know, the silage silo, the greenhouses, whatever. I posted that, you know, chickens, animals, whatever. I posted that in the chat between the 3 of us, so we will see what they come back with. Probably won't have an answer in this episode, but we'll see what they come back with. Keeping an eye on the Discord right now between the 3 of us, because it's around the time when we said we were going to stop. We still have a lot to do. I'm going to have to do this all, I guess, later on. And we accomplished some stuff, but I feel like we didn't accomplish enough yet. That's my opinion. Right or wrong, that's my opinion. I feel like I need to get like at least 1 more field in here, and really I need to probably get some more grass mowed, but that's kind of what I was trying to get at right at the beginning, right? Is that it just took us so long. Ooh, first lift the slide gate. Okay. Why are we not spreading lime? What is happening here? Okay, I guess I just wasn't... I didn't have something set properly. We do now, so it's fine. This is a very nice spreader, though. I like this. This is good, man. This is good. I don't think I need that line on anymore. I only really wanted that on for the drilling. I don't think we need it on for this. This is pretty easy to tell where you've been and where you haven't been, right? I think we're going to run out. We're going to be just short. We are going to be just short. And I made this slightly too long. There's a strip in the middle that we're not going to be able to hit. Dang. We made it literally just slightly too short. Alright, well, let's drop that off there. And we'll grab the trailer, and we're going to head up to the shop and get all the stuff stacked up there, and we'll buy one more pallet of lime. And then that way we can get the whole field done. And then if the guys are still working, we'll start trying to get a little bit more done, whether that's going and selling another load of silage or beginning plowing another field. We'll do that as well. Alright, let's get this stuff stacked up here. Now, I'm probably going to have a hard time getting this stuff off the trailer for a bit, but really we haven't really been utilizing this trailer a whole lot since, because we're kind of starting with silage anyway, right? So, and that silage forge wagon, loading wagon we have is a little bit more capacity than this does, so there really wasn't a reason for us to flip it back to the other way, to be in a grain trailer, if you will. A hard time getting that one off there for some reason. Alright, we're going to throw this over here if I can, and then I'm going to try to put the lime on the very back, because I think there's a chance we might run into a bit of an issue when it comes to I think it could be a part of an issue, I guess, when I'm trying to fill the lime back up into the spreader with that fertilizer on there, right? I don't want to fill up the fertilizer, then have to unload it again, and then load up the lime, and it'll just turn into a mess, right? So if I can put it on the back, it might be a little bit easier, maybe, for us to load it up, I hope. Oh boy, that almost fell off. Alright, we got it. So I'm going to put this back, because I definitely want to put it back. I want to be a good neighbor and put it back here. I don't want to leave it out in the middle of the open for everyone, although that would be funny as a bit of a sabotage, if you will. Alright, that is done. I just heard a cat meow. Did you guys hear that? Is there a cat over here? I swear I just heard a cat. I don't see a cat, but I literally heard a cat meow. Interesting. Anyway. Let's head on up to the shop. So I did ask that question. I did get a response, at least from one of the guys, and they all agree that it probably should be hauled, which is kind of what I thought too. I'm going to ask him about the sell points and see if that... Because that might be another thing that we all probably agree that should just be, kept to what's actually on the actual map itself, right? Versus doing that. That would make things a little bit easier too, right? So I kind of get that. Okay, let's see if we can finish this up here. Looks like they're both done, so I need to finish here pretty much soon. Pretty much as soon as possible here. So I'm just going to get the rest of this lime done, and then we'll probably end it as well. We got a decent chunk done. Not as much as we probably wanted to, because it took us so long to go and sell that, but we'll have to figure that out. We'll figure it out, I guess, as we move along here, right? Alright, let's get the rest of this line put down. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, I have to reset it. Evidently, it doesn't think... Didn't even give me the, you know, the steering assist or the whatever you want to call it either. It reset that too. So I have to make sure I turn the flap on every time, and then make sure that I reset the lines every time too, I guess. But, you know, that's fine. So we're going to waste a little bit of lime here, unfortunately. It is what it is. There's not really a whole lot I can do about this. I guess I could go the other way, up and down, right? That would be the only way to really get away with not having to utilize this entire thing of lime, and I think we're going to run out before we even get to the end of this, which is super unfortunate, but it is what it is. And, yeah, we're going to have a small amount there that's missed, but it is what it is, I guess. So, I think at this point, we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button for me. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. Let's do a quick flyover here before we end fully to see how everyone else is doing and what they accomplished today. So let's see. Looks like Rusty ended up putting in sheep as well and another field. So he's been very, very, very busy. He's got cows, sheep, and 2 fields already done. Rusty is working on his second field. He still has the goats, and actually he's got 3 fields, I guess. We worked on the goats as well, so things are going well, gang. But we're going to leave our episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as I just mentioned, make sure you like the video for us. It helps all 3 of us out tremendously if you do that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. I'll see you next time.